Emre, another
Emre.
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 Uh, why don't you introduce yourself? Give
Yeah.
us a little bit background, who you are, what you're doing back home in Turkey.
I'm a lecturer in Kadir Has University, Istanbul, in the Department of International Relations. I'm a lecturer there. So, I'm living in Istanbul. I'm married.
What describes you as a transformation thinker, or what makes you a transformation thinker?
What makes me, I think I'm open-minded, very willing to listen other people's ideas, perceptions, trying to understand what's underneath that, what makes these people to think in that manner. So sometimes when during my classes, let's say, when I ask my students about their opinions, they sometimes came, how come we're supposed to tell our opinions? Because in Turkey, the educational system is mainly based on to make people in certain manners. Let's say during the high school, to get to university, to reach the university level, we have an examination, general examination, and it's a test. There's multiple choice, and you need to choose one of them. There's no other option apart from that. So you're all the time actually motivated to be restricted on the option that provided to you. Also, that makes you to memorize everything without looking underneath what's deep. So I had a problem in my classes also. They all the time, let's say, when you ask a question, they come like this. I mean, how come we're going to answer that? When you ask people to write whatever you want, they're like, how come we're going to write something that they all the time expect an option for them?
Yeah. So on what topics are you holding lectures?
Actually, my topics this semester I'm teaching Middle East politics, both PhD and MA level. Also, I'm teaching energy security. Next semester, I will be teaching Eurasian geopolitics, Eurasian politics in general, and Middle East politics again, and conflict analysis and resolution.
Okay.
I have a class on that.
Please describe the current situation in Turkey regarding
Democratization process.
Yeah, and also about challenges you're facing in your country, and regarding to our topics here at the conference. And
the current situation in Turkey is, in terms of democratization, we improved a lot since the early 2000s. I mean, in 90s, we improved a lot, in particular due to this reforms, EU-related reforms that motivated our government to democratize, to make reforms on several instances on democratization.
Do you think, excuse me when I jump in there, reforms, are reforms transformation?
Reforms that, if they are implemented properly, they could lead to transformation.
Okay.
But at the moment, I'm not totally saying that it's transformation, but reforms. So there are improvements and transformation in a sense that now, let's say in Turkey, we can discuss the main foundations of, main principles of Turkish Republic, which is, from to give a brief idea, it's mainly constructed, it's imposed from above, the democracy, republicanism, but military elite actually during that, who established the republic, considered themselves as the guarantor of the republic. So in that sense, it's a bit tricky, because you are protecting the state from its people. In that sense, it caused a problem in that sense. There are two elements they were very concerned, the military elite, when they were founding the republic. One was the main issue was Islam, political Islam, because it was the republic based on the principle of secularism in that regard. So whenever there is political Islam movements going on, military elite concerned that they should protect secularism, not democracy, but secularism. Secularism in the name, they were arguing that we are protecting democracy, but it caused problem, of course, in that sense. Secularism should be a tool for democratization, but in the case of military elites, it become a kind of a tool to secure their positions in the society, to justify their position in society. It goes from, of course, the other problem is it's a nation building, Turkish nation building. So if you are not belong to that nation, that means that you have a problem. So this Turkification is a problem inside. If you don't feel yourself, let's say, Turkish first, you have a problem in the society. Of course, there are some transformation going on in terms of this, because now we can discuss these issues.
Yeah.
Reconsider these principles, how to create coherence in the society without considering this as an obstacle, but how to move on from these principles maybe. Now people in Turkey now discussing whether give more rights to Kurdish and consider them as citizens.
Okay.
So this kind of discussions are pretty new in Turkey. And this is the part of transformation, of course. It's totally new. They say in the Armenian issue, we have a genocide allegation. It's a very tough issue for Turkish national identity.
Yeah.
And now people are begun to rethink about the past.
Yeah.
In a way, there are motive among people to face the past and what had really happened. And I listen from my mother. It's total taboo for them to even think about it.
Okay.
Not to talk. There's no way to talk about it. But now there are discussions. Several universities are organizing conferences on the time period, what had really happened, these kind of things. In that sense, there's a transformation going on. But on the other hand, what concerns me in Turkey is that our current government's democratization definition is a bit narrow, because they are a bit pro-Islamist, and the way they understand from democracy, I think, is a bit mainly on, Islam and religious freedoms. But if you only define democracy as a religious freedoms, it causes problems.
Right.
The ones who are concerned about, let's say, their position in the society, who have a secular way of life, could feel, a bit concerned about what's happening. Just to give you an idea, when you look at, let's say, women's integration to the workforce in the early 2000s, and look at now, there's a big gap. So this kind of things also should be noted. Also about freedom of speech, if you are critical on the government. Let's say most of the writers and journalists in Turkey are a bit concerned about being critical on the government.
Would you say there is censorship?
In a way, because maybe you heard there's an Ergenekon trial going on in Turkey. It's about, the main claim is there are some generals, retired generals, who plotted coup against current government. That's the all claim about. But the thing is, journalists who are being critical on governments find themselves in that trial, and maybe they don't have nothing to do maybe with that, but they were in the prison for that, and they don't know what's there, what's there to do with this, all of this.
Okay.
So it became a kind of a tool, according to some people say that, tool for government to use this trial to put pressure on people who are critical on
certain things.
Yeah, also the media, about maybe about the tax fine to Doğan media group. And now the writers over there are concerned to write about critical, because they are critical on the Deniz Feneri issue, maybe from Germany. Actually, it was a German court who said that this organization has links with some groups that are associated with government, and they are embezzling money. They are collecting money to, transfer it to help poor people. But what they did actually is to transfer that money to their accounts. And it's not possible, let's say, in Turkey to write on these issues, because you will be concerned that you will be under this Ergenekon trial, and you never know what's going to happen to you.
Okay.